the Jazz Age, or even the Roaring '20s, were an age of dramatic social and political change. For the first time, more Americans lived in cities than on farms. People from coast to coast bought the same goods, did the same dances, used the same slang, and even listened to the same music. Speaking of music, here are some 1920s popular music in no particular order. Please enjoy.
Heebie-jeebies. It was February 26, 1926 when Louis Armstrong and his band, the Hot Five, recorded Heebie-jeebies, written by Chicago violinist Boyd Atkins, a member of the Lewis's band at the Sunset Cafe. The song quickly became a national bestseller and introduced scat singing to a wider audience. According to him, he was singing the song when his lyric sheets fell on the floor. Continuing his song, he decided to sing random non-linguative words, other known as scat singing, because of him not wanting to waste the tape. When it was published to the public, different races loved it, and thus the scat singing became much more popular than before. No one seemed to be bothered by the scat singing. In fact, many singers by the Boswell sisters who sing the Heebie-jeebies in the different compositions. Ellie Fitzgerald, who is also known for her cat singings, Betty Carter, Carmen McRae, Eddie Jefferson, Anita O'Day, and many more.
Ain't Misbehavin' by Fats Waller, Razaf, and Brooks. The song was first performed at the premiere of Connie's Hot Chocolates at Connie's Inn in Harlem as an opening number by Margaret Sims and Paul Bass, and repeated later in the musical by Russell Wooding's Hallelujah Singers. Connie's Hot Chocolates transferred to the Hudson Theater on Broadway in June 1929, where it was renamed to Hot Chocolates, and where Louis Armstrong took over as orchestra director. The script also required Armstrong to play Ain't Misbehavin' in a trumpet solo, and although this was initially stated to only be a reprise of the opening song, Armstrong's performance was so well received that the trumpeter was asked to climb out of the orchestra pit and play the piece on stage. There were no further critics or any controversial happenings in this song. In fact, it was so well liked that several artists, and all 6 of them, who played Ain't Misbehavin' recordings of 1929 were hits in the ASCAP rankings for that year. Their names are Leo Reisman and his orchestra, Louis Armstrong, Bill Bojangles Robinson with R.V. Mills and his Hotsy Totsy Gang, Gene Austin with Leonard Joy and his orchestra, Ruth Etting, also Fats Waller. The one I love, I'm through with.
Wang Wang Blues. Paul Whiteman recorded the song on August 9, 1920 in Camden, New Jersey. The song was released in December 1920 as a Victor 78 single. Paul Whiteman recorded and released the song 3 additional times. The Paul Whiteman recording was known for 6 weeks on pop singles charts. The song was accepted a majority of the people, but there is controversial that involves around his music and himself generally. The detractors suggest that Whiteman's orchestra's music was jazz in name only, lacking genres and emotionally depth, and co-opted the innovations of black musicians. Defenders know that Whiteman's fondness for jazz was genuine. He worked with black musicians as much as was feasible during an era of racial segregation, that his bands included many of the era's most esteemed white jazz musicians. In his autobiography, Duke Ellington declared Paul Whiteman was known as King of Jazz. No one as yet has come near carrying that title with more certainty and dignity.